The government claims the lawyers in Ian McGrail's team, namely Charles Gomez and Adam Wagner, sought the intervention of the Foreign Secretary Lord David Cameron in relation to the new Inquiries Bill, despite this having been passed by Gibraltar's Parliament on Monday. It says, therefore, these lawyers have in effect sought direct rule, and argues that this is also true of opposition leader Keith Asopardi, who set up a meeting with the governor, Sir David Steele, to express his concerns over the new legislation.
Let's be very clear about what the leader of the opposition has sought to do here. He's sought to create a new stage in legislation in Gibraltar. So after the Parliament has approved the bill, he's trying to insert a new stage where he goes to the governor and says, for all of these reasons, the reasons he gave GBC last night and spoke about in the second reading, we think this bill should not receive assent. And I think he was very disappointed to see that, in fact, the bill had received assent. I'll tell you that I know that Mr. McGrail's lawyers wrote to the Foreign Secretary, David Cameron, to ask him to ensure that assent was withheld from the bill, and that the former Minister for Europe, Leo Doherty, wrote to Mr. McGrail's lawyers to tell them that actually they saw no reason why assent should be withheld to the bill. So both Mr. McGrail's lawyers and the leader of the opposition have in effect sought direct rule for Gibraltar by seeking...
The opposition said that he wasn't seeking to not have the assent.
Well, no, I'm afraid that the leader of the opposition said two things which conflict. The first was that he didn't seek not to have the assent, and the second was that he was very disappointed that the governor had not seen him before giving assent, which suggests to me that actually he discloses that he was seeking to prevent assent from being given. So the leader of the opposition and Mr. McGrail's lawyers have sought that direct rule should be imposed on Gibraltar by the absence of assent to a bill properly passed by the Gibraltar Parliament. Now, that I think demonstrates that there is every attempt being made both to prevent Gibraltar's laws from being updated to include the powers that we have said that we think should be available in Gibraltar's laws, and to modernize Gibraltar's law in keeping with the UK law, and to vilify the government and me in particular in a way that is leading to social media comment, the like of which, the vitriolic nature of which, I have never seen before. Now, I think the raising of the negative debate in Gibraltar just before the inquiry starts, with lawyers in the inquiry seeking to litigate in a trial-by-media fashion the issues which are live in the inquiry, does absolutely no service to Gibraltar. And in fact, we've seen international comment about Gibraltar, and which vilifies Gibraltar's reputation, not just mine, in a way that is a massive disservice to the people of Gibraltar, and prompted by Mr. McGrail's lawyers. In fact, Joshua Rosenberg specifically said that he had been told by lawyers representing Mr. McGrail the things that we see both in the Transparency International blog, the Global Anti-Corruption blog, and Mr. Rosenberg's own blog, and some of the Twitter feeds of some of Mr. McGrail's lawyers.
Number 6 reiterates its view that the new legislation has simply made Gibraltar law substantively identical to UK law, and that the tactics pursued by Keith Asopardi and Ian McGrail demonstrate no care for the Rock or its reputation.